So you both have an investment in the art, and you both come up with a story together, which is actually a perfect symbiotic thing. I don't know anybody that does it that way.
Really?
Not that well ingrained, no.
Not that well integrated.
I mean, but, it's like, I think there's, I don't know, it is very common to have, your writer, artist, but there are a lot of teams out there that help out a little bit on each end, or at least the artist can get some input. I work on a comic called Ardra, and John Peters is the artist for it, and I offered to be the colorist because I figured it'd be easier to get art if I say I'll do the coloring. That's fine, and to try to alleviate some of the work there. But he's also come up with some ideas on his own that fit really well into the characters, and I think that a lot of artists that do work as artists, if they have their own comics, they have a lot of valuable input as well. But there are some people out there that's like, just tell me what to draw. I don't know what to draw. I remember when I was a kid, it's like I sat there with the pencil and paper. I don't know what to draw. And it's like, tell me what to draw.
Tell me what to draw.
Draw a dog. I don't want to.
Then don't ask.
So,
wow, that's like the commission. That's like the freelance or the commissions role. Okay, well, what do you want this to look like? Oh, do whatever you want. Okay, here you go.
That's not what I wanted at all.
That's not what I wanted at all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Joe, do you write and do the art for your comic?
I wouldn't. Write is a generous term for it, but yeah, I do the words. I create the words.
I make words look good.
And I don't spell very well, so my readers tell me how bad my grammar and spelling is.
Photoshop doesn't have spell check.
I have that same issue, actually, that I will post things up and all my readers will go, you did that wrong. Okay, sorry.
I think that's just how they show that they love us. I hope that's
No, it pretty much shows that they're trolls.
Yeah, with us it's
I wish I had that problem.
I have a lot of trolls. I have this group of 6 guys that have been around for my comic for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And all they do is sit in my little shout box and troll each other. But it's awesome because they've become almost like guard dogs.
Yeah.
So if anybody else shows up, they attack it, and then if whoever comes along survives the attack, they're accepted into the herd.
Okay.
So it's kind of so I have trolls, but by golly, they're my trolls.
It doesn't have to be
they are
something.
under the bridge to your community.
Indeed.
And they stay there.
It doesn't have to be something bad, though. Errant's story has his Poe sucks at spelling. And between his wife and I, we try and find most of the spelling mistakes beforehand, but he still manages to sneak a few through. And so he's got it's one of the most popular threads on the forum, because there used to be a thing at the end of the month, whoever turned in the most spelling mistakes got a bookmark mailed to them or something.
Okay.
I don't think we're actually doing that anymore, but there's still, oh, I found another one. It's like a race to be the first one to put the thing in so that you get credit for it.
For us, it was typo, or for me, since I'm the one doing the wording. It's not spelling mistakes; it's typos.
That's why
it's switching a letter, and when that line is under it in Photoshop because it's being active, I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's,
I hate that.
Yeah, and it's gotten a lot better, but. One of the biggest threads that we ever had was a dozen people telling us that it wasn't sword, it was sport with a P.
Yeah.
I found I would leave the letter.
Yes,
I would
know.
leave the word out. I would be typing along at the end, start down here, but I would have missed a word in there somewhere.
Well, one of the things, I have that too, because I have this obsessive thing of I want the word bubbles to look the right shape and to be kind of squared off. So sometimes I'll be so if I move the of to up there, and it winds up, after I'm done rearranging it, I've accidentally forgot the main word in the sentence.
Or you have two ofs. You have the meaning of blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
That
sort of
I
thing.
do that too.
There's double word. No, he's stuttering.
Oh no.
Or there's a typo. Okay, thanks. I fixed it. It's going to be fixed in the comic you can buy version
Yep.
That's a special feature. It's all correct.
That too,
Yeah, I actually have a mild form of dyslexia myself, so I will leave a word out of a sentence and all of a sudden it will show up 3 sentences later out of nowhere. It's really strange once in a while. It's gotten so bad at certain points, I actually created a character for my comic called the Typo Ninja. That his entire job is to show up and go typo ninjutsu and fix whatever I did wrong. So I mean, you have to work around your candy cats once in a while, though. That's the only way you can get through it sometimes.
So,
how about you, Ahmed? You never do typos in your comic.
His comics are perfect.
I don't actually have any dialogue.
Yeah, this is Ahmed Fahim.
Hold on,
come on.
Silent Fire.
Come on.
He spoke.
Get him! The chair. And we're pointing because we need to put him on. Get him in the chair.
There he is.
Yay!
Now then, you're gonna talk, and we're gonna make you talk.
And he's been avoiding us all weekend. Well, no, he's been following us all weekend, but avoiding being on record as being...
There. Perfect.
Yeah, block me out.
Block Joe out.
Now be entertaining. Go.
Dance!
Ahmed, when did you first realize it?
Okay.
No, you should have kept with that. That could have worked.
So last year you came here and you were basically had a table and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna draw stuff and hang out and whatever. We didn't get you in the webcomic creator picture, so here you are now. Here's Ahmed.
Hi.
You last year you were doing a comic called Antisocial. Are you still doing that one?
No.
Okay, so your new comic is Silent Pirate.
Correct.
What is that about?
It's about a young boy who gets slingshotted onto a pirate ship by a bully. And then he joins their crew. And currently they're fighting giant robots.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's really clever.
Yeah.
It's really clever because there's no dialogue. And I think that's
there's some dialogue.
Well, there's
little, but
visual dialogue and there's little captions and stuff. But
He has a first mate that speaks in internet memes.
and other memes.
And other memes. It's fantastic. And he has a llama that just goes llama noise. It's the most fantastic thing ever.
Thank you.
There we go. See, look at this nice guy from LA.
Sort of.
Oh, wait.
Well, I live in LA right now, and I'm probably going to move. We'll see.
So this is probably the nicest person that currently lives in LA.
Which is why he has to move, because he's throwing off the ratio.
You're setting a too good of example for LA. I'm kidding. I've never been to LA. I can't say for sure. Where are you moving to?
I don't know.
You don't know.
He's moving here so he can go to Penguicon.
Yeah. All right. So it's everyone else is relatively from. So what made you decide to come all the way out from West Coast to the middle of
Michigan?
The small of the back of America.
Well, I've been going to Penguicon for a few years now.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, I remember him from
he's been here every year.
Yeah, he's been here every year for 4 years.
It's been a blur.
3 years.
I swear,
So you
he's
have
a
been here.
ninja. I swear he's a ninja.
I only remember you mostly last year for some reason.
No, he was here.
No, he's been here.
Well, you're so quiet.
With me 2 years ago. Remember, he was right next to me. And
Yeah, you had him tied up.
He was all tied up.
I didn't have him tied up.
Now I remember. Yeah, he was tied up. Yeah, he did
The
that.
turtle had him tied up.
Now I remember you. You're that guy.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so still, what made you want to come out to Penguicon then?
Well, I went there because it seemed like a big webcomics thing, a nice, fun webcomics convention-ish thing.
Okay.
Well, not just webcomics, of course, but other stuff, but webcomics were there, and it sounded like fun. And then I really, really, really liked it, so then I came back the next year, and then I really, really liked it, so I'm back here now.
Okay.
Back here again.
Yeah, it was I think it was 2009, which we all.
I think 2010.
Okay. I know that Webcomic Beacon came in 2009.
This is our fourth Penguicon.
Yeah, because I remember on the site, on the About page, there should be I think a Penguicon 2009 picture, 2010 picture, and 2011 pictures So we'll get a picture here before we leave, so I can put that on the site.
And I think Ahmed also has a request. So.
Oh, what?
I think
the webcomicers.
Yeah. Anyway. So, but the point was that 4 years ago there wasn't any sort of webcomic thing. I think there's like a webcomics con now. I'm not sure if it's
carved our little hole.
Yeah, but that's like East Coast, and then there's New England Webcomics Weekend, which is basically the big guys and then whoever they want to invite. So it's not like most people can even get into it, but
So this one is cool because it combines a couple of things.
Well, it started really strong. We'll see what happens next year, but
I'm going to rescue Ahmed by giving him an out here. I wanted to go back as the host of the Tropecast and ask them the favorite tropes that they have writing for the superhero comic.
I like dude looks like a lady.
I like hanging a lampshade on it. I love hanging lampshades on things because you can get away with anything, any horrible, horrible thing, as long as you acknowledge that you're doing it. Supposedly, this works so far.
Yeah.
The phrase "obligatory backstory" has made it into the dialogue. Like, is it time? Is saying this going to make this less contrived? God, I hope so.
So are the characters like trope aware? Or at least Sidekick Girl.
Genre savvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the characters in general are actually pretty genre savvy because the things like the obligatory backstory or tragic past, those things are mentioned within the comic in dialogue to other characters. So it's not so much that there's the breaking of the fourth wall. The characters are generally not aware that they are characters in a story, but they are aware that their world is this genre because that's reality.
There are certain rules that you have to follow.
There's binders full of rules that need to be followed if you're a licensed superhero.
Right.
Well, I just meant like narrative rules. Like if this happens, then get ready because that's about to happen too.
Kind of like in what was it, The Incredibles, where they more than one time brought up the whole, well, he started monologuing again, and so
that's
the
monologue joke.
I think we've made the monologue joke
at least
at least once, and so there's a lot of. There's elements of those sorts of things in the Incredibles, costume superhero world.
Venture Brothers.
I'm sorry?
Venture Brothers.
Sky High. If you ever saw that terrible, terrible movie, I love that movie. It's awful. But there's, they go to school. They go to college to get degrees in superheroing.
Reminds me of the other old comic that was around called Taco Man and Burrito Boy.
Delicious.
That these two guys decide to go to school, and for some reason, the one's head turns into a burrito on his 21st birthday, and then he gets a roommate with a guy who has apparently has a taco for a head, and the two of them enroll in superhero college.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Except Taco Man, who's supposed to be the leader, doesn't have any powers, and he's just this big jerk.
I'm delicious!
And then Burrito Boy ends up with the one with the ability to fly and like has super strength and invulnerability and everything.
Mm-hmm. I remember that comic.
Yeah, it was.
Well, and there are similarities to something like that because especially in
you have a character with a head that's a Mexican dish.
We do not.
Okay.
Yet. However,
the enchilada.
We do have a character.
Churro Boy. Sorry.
Churro Boy.
Sorry. Go ahead.
We do have a character whose sole purpose was to operate the ray gun to do the body switch arc because you always got to have a body switch. So we had this random steampunky type guy with a death ray that malfunctions, but we needed to get rid of him quickly because the story wasn't supposed to be about fighting the villain. The story was about crap, we're in each other's bodies, and we hate each other's bodies. So he blew his own head off with the death ray. He disintegrated his own head. We called him Clockwork Joe. Not because we agreed upon the name, but because when I was typing out the thing, he needed to say something like, "Hi, Clockwork Joe will blah blah blah." I go, "Okay, Clockwork Joe." I don't have to think up something clever for him. He's dying in a week. The readers adored him as more than any other villain that we had before, or
He was in 2 comics.
It's
blew his head off.
It's fucking how that works. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
they adored him. So now he's gonna.
I should go off.
Does he have a clone of himself hidden somewhere?
No, he has a robo butler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're gonna have a butler,
He has a robo butler.
Maybe trying to attempt to build him
rebuild his beloved master.
Yeah,
Or maybe the head's going to show back up. You never know.
With legs. I don't
Little
know.
like spidery things.
You'd be surprised the number of times things like that happen. One of the things I am regrettably probably the more famous for is when I was doing the Apple of Discord a few years ago. It was hypothetically a like random joke a day sort of comic 3 times a week, and I wanted to sample the forbidden fruits that are gay jokes. So I decided if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this so far that it's going to be like ridiculous. So I created Gayzilla, a giant gay Godzilla dinosaur that's like neon pink and breathes flowers.
rawr.
Yeah, and rawr. And the LGBT community loved Gayzilla.
Okay.
It was supposed to be just like a one comic thing where they're like, you see Gayzilla attacking another monster, and then there's 2 characters like, wow, they're fighting, and then they're like, they're not fighting, are they? So then, like that one, it hit Stumble, it went crazy. I got like t-shirt requests. I wound up making a line of Gayzilla t-shirts because
those shirts,
they wanted a t-shirt for a LGBT webcomic charity auction, and I was like, all right, well, I'll show them. So the next one had Gayzilla biting the end off of a boat and sucking out all the semen, and I just kept taking it like, well, this is going to turn them off, and no matter how bad I tried to make it, it was.
Once they were.
And what about Mecha Gayzilla and his giant drill?
Yeah, then we introduced Mecha Gayzilla, who had a giant crotch-mounted drill, and when I eventually gave up the Apple of Discord, we were about to start on a new Gayzilla arc where he was fighting against the Village Force 5. It was like a Village People Power Rangers. Because it works. It works because you've got construction workers, the Yellow Ranger, the sailor is the White Ranger, the cop is the Blue Ranger, the biker is the Black Ranger, and the Indian is the Red Ranger. So I get to be offensive to a lot of people. But no, I mean, the more I was like, I'm going to turn this up to 11, and I'm just going to, I don't even know.
I can't. I'm trying so hard to offend you that I can't even do it.
Yeah.
Please hate me.
So, we are coming up towards the end of our time here. Do we have any questions from the audience?
Hey, there's questions. There's an audience.
There's
like 5 more people in the audience.
Hi, Adam.
Yeah, they're here for the next
he's
thing,
in our
which isn't on
comic.
the schedule.
I am in your comic.
He is on both the friends who have made guest appearances list and the villain list.
Hurrah!
It's the same picture because that's the villain right there.
Okay. All right.
That'll.
So, is there supposed to be something in here afterwards?
At 3, yeah, closing ceremonies.
Closing ceremonies. Let me check my schedule here.
Get off the stage.
Now, according to this, it doesn't say that.
Quick, we have to get everybody in here.
So, I don't think it does.
Yeah, because the schedule's never been wrong all weekend.
No, that could never happen.
But anyway, so that is all we have for this week's edition of the Webcast Beacon Network, Webcomic Beacon. I don't even know what show this is supposed to be. Probably webcomics.
Let's count this also as a trope cast. It can be like you can tag both of them in WordPress so that it comes as like, Beacon episode this and Tropecast episode that.
It'll screw the site up if I try to do that. I'll have code
on twice then.
I'll have code competing.
Put it on twice then.
It's not tropecasty enough. Sorry.
We talked about
There's more of us than you.
We talked about tropes.
I'm the executive producer. I can.
This is more tropes than we normally get to in a
diabolical plans.
Well,
Anyway, but we also had.
Anyway, tropes.
I think this is also an episode of Who's the Boss too.
Yeah, who's the boss? Me.
I think Ahmed's in charge.
Yes. So anyway,
on the back.
You want to hide now?
Can I go now?
Anyway, ending. This has been the Webcomic Beacon podcast with the Tropecast, a little bit of the newscast, and our guests, Joe Foo, Lauren, and Laura and Erika.
Yep.
And Ahmed right up here. Yay! Thanks for coming. Be sure to check out webcastbeacon.com for more. And that is it for this episode. We got to get out here and stay tuned to the website. Check us out live at webcastbeacon.com/live. See when we're going to broadcast next. See ya.
Yay.